and happy 4th of July. Mike Heading here, coming to you today with the Star Spangled Banner, a really fun melody to play on the mandolin. We're going to learn it in the key of D, and we're going to learn two versions, a simple melody and then the one I just played with a little bit more harmony. We'll learn the simple melody first, so you get the single note melody down, and then we'll look at adding some harmony. The other thing we're going to work on with this song is tremolo, playing successive downstrokes, and also letting the time breathe a little bit, right? We're not keeping it in time with a metronome on this song. We're going to let those phrases breathe a little bit to bring out the power of the melody. All right, let's start breaking down the Star Spangled Banner in the key of D. Here we go. All right, so let's start breaking down this basic melody to Star Spangled Banner in the key of D. So two things I want to mention before we start is, one, I think this song personally sounds a little bit better if you actually let the tempo flow a little bit, where we're going to put little pauses in the melody and let the time breathe a little bit rather than just playing it strictly with a metronome. Personally, I don't think it sounds as good. I think it flows and plays a little bit better if you give certain phrases a little bit of space, and we'll talk about that as the lesson breaks down. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to break some of the traditional right-hand rules, and I'm going to use kind of more of a Bill Monroe style approach, where I'm going to do tremolo on the longer notes, and then I'm going to use all downstrokes on the other notes. I think that helps the intermediate notes between the tremolo pop out a little bit more. That's just my approach. I think it sounds good using all the downstrokes. You could do alternate picking if you want, but give it a try both ways and see what you like. But I'd recommend doing tremolo with the down up on the longer notes and then successive downstrokes on the in-between notes, okay? So let's start breaking it down. Here we go. So let's play the opening phrase. So we're going to play the chord tones of a D chord called an arpeggio, and we're going to start by going down them and then back up. So the notes are D, F sharp, and A. So we're actually going to start on the A string, open A, and then down to the 4th fret of the D string, and then open D, and then back up those notes, 4, open, and then up to this 5th fret on the A string, which is also a D note. So we're kind of going down the notes and then back up. If you heard like the song like Soldier's Joy, you know, something like this. Same kind of similar idea. So good ear training there to hear those notes and how they relate to that chord. So we're going. So again, I'm playing the notes that aren't tremolo with all downs. And then I'm going to go up to the E string and do 2 open. So 2nd fret and then open, 5th fret on the A, and then a jump down to the 4th fret D string, 6th fret, open A, and then open A 2 more times. So let's play that whole thing. You're probably familiar with this melody, so again, that'll help you play the song and get the rhythm down that you want. So again, like I might let the rhythm breathe a little bit. So I might do like, you can let this breathe as long as you want. I might even let it breathe a little bit right there until I go. So again, that take some artistic license and see what works for you. But I personally think the song sounds better if you don't keep it strictly in time. So let's do that a few times. It's a good chance to work on your tone, get those notes all to ring out really cleanly and clearly. You're also getting some really good interval jumps on this song. That note's outside of the scale, right? So again, practice your ear training. So a normal D major scale would be, right? And that 6th fret on the D string is outside of the scale. We're going, which implies a 2 major chord to the 5. So again, we'll break that down more on the second version where we harmonize it. But just listen to that kind of how that note sits outside of the scale. Also a good jump here. right? That's a bigger jump. Your ear might not be used to hearing that bigger jump. That's good practice for you. Let's keep going. So then we go back up to the second fret on the high E string, tremolo. So we're going second fret, open E, 5th fret, 4th fret, which is like the 5 chord A, and then we go so kind of back down that arpeggio. The other thing I might do is like, you could do like a little hammer on into that or slide. Add a little bit of expression, that can be kind of cool. I mean, you could even slide into that note. Again, I might let it breathe right there, and then we pick it back up, same notes. You could slide into that if you want. Like I said, it's the same. This is all the same, right? So if you basically play measures, what is it, 1 through 9, you have basically the whole part of the first part, right? It just repeats. Measures 9 through 16 is the same as 1 through 9, right? So it kind of repeats that, right? So let's play that whole thing again. Here we go. Maybe let it breathe a little bit right here. You can even let it breathe right here a little bit, and then let it breathe. Okay, so that's halfway through the song. Now we're going to go up to the high E string and we're going to play 2nd fret twice. So kind of walking up the notes of starting on the 3rd of the D major scale up to the 5th. So we're going 2nd fret twice, actually 3 times. And then 3rd fret, 5th fret twice, tremolo, and then back down. That's good practice there. So you could also harmonize with the lower A string if you want. And we'll do some of that in the second version, but just kind of, again, so you can get your ear training down. Sometimes adding that drone string can help. So let's play that part again. So we have... The other thing that would be good practice, you won't be able to do it with the whole song because we don't have the low enough notes, but just knowing where, right? How would you play that lower, right? Again, it's just good ear training to hear how you play that in different octaves. Again, we could play the whole solo lower because we don't have enough low notes, but you get the idea, right? So let's play that part again as written. Then we hit the 3rd fret again, and then 2nd fret. That's kind of just using some phrases we've already played. So you really just have to learn that first part of the second part of the melody, right? So. And then here's the ending. So we kind of walk down the notes of a D major scale, right? So we're starting on the root D, and then 5, 4, second fret 3 times. And then again, another spot I might let it breathe a little bit, and then we're gonna go. And you could tremolo that if you want, but again, I would put that a little bit out of time intentionally. It's just, I think if you play it in time, it sounds a little bit weird. If you go, right, it doesn't have the effect. If you, I might even slow down that phrase a little bit. And then pause. Like that. So again, play with that idea and use your own taste, but you can, I don't know, I think it sounds better like I keep saying, but let's do that one more time from the measure, what is it, 26. And then we go. Kind of up the notes of a D major scale, open A twice, 5th fret on the A string, and then open 2, 3, 5 on the E, and then right, so 5th fret A, open E, 2nd fret tremolo, 3 open, 5th fret A tremolo. So let's play that last part from 26 again all the way to the end. So we have you can even let it pause there. Okay, so that's the basic melody. You can hear how we're using tremolo, we're using successive downstrokes, we're playing with the time a little bit to kind of, again, bring out the feeling of the song. Trust your own judgment on this, and try it both ways. Maybe you want to keep it in rhythm if you think that sounds better. But to me, I think letting those little, think of them as phrases, right? And then just playing each phrase kind of on its own, I think just gives it a little more power personally. All right, let's look at how do we spice that up with playing some more harmony. So let's do the same thing, same exact melody, but we're going to spice it up with harmony now. We're going to go. So let's just break it down phrase by phrase. So we walk it down the same, and this time we did a slide, and then instead of just playing this note on its own, now we're going to harmonize it with the higher 2nd fret. Some people play like a B minor there, do 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 do, and that's what we're doing. But we're not playing the full chord. We're just playing 2 of the 3 notes. It would be like this. But again, it sounds better sometimes if you just have the melody and then a higher harmony. So we have. And then we're going to go to an F sharp 7, and then B minor, D, E7, A. So what we do there is we're going to go, we're here, right, in this little double stop. Slide I'll show you 2 ways to do it. Slide your ring finger up to the 9th fret and put your middle finger on the 8th fret of the D string. And we're going to go. And then take your ring finger off, put your index finger on the 7th fret of the A string. So you have. The other way you could do it is down here. You could do like that. Like this 2-finger F sharp chord. Just basically like your 2-finger G, but down 1 fret. And then take your middle finger off. I don't know. For me, I like doing it up here personally. I don't know. I just think it. And then we're here for this B minor. So you get some good double stop practice. So we're here, which is B minor, and then we have F sharp 7, B minor again. So 9 and 5, ninth fret on the D, 5th fret on the A. Remember, the melody is, and we're grabbing this note now up here. So we're going, this time we're harmonizing with a lower note. That's like an E double stop, and then pinky and second finger A. You could also slide this up, but it's good practice to use your pinky and second finger if you can. So let's practice that. So we have, you can hear, you get more of the harmony, right? And then we go open A twice. You can also just play this twice. And then I like doing kind of like a strum with a tremolo. It's like, that's kind of like a classical mandolin technique. You strum and tremolo on the top note. A, double stop. And then drone. So we have repeat. And then up here. I kind of just like filling that out with harmony. It just fills it up, like I said, doing 3 notes. It's also good right hand practice. You have drone with the A. And then right here I add my ring finger onto the 4th fret to kind of make like an A7. You could also do open A, but it just, again, it changes the harmony a little bit. So you have, and then right here I just stay down here, 5 and 2. Good double stop practice there. So you're here. You could just loop that. And then strum. I just kept this single notes. And if you want a little ending, you could do like, so what would that be? So you'd have, so 5th fret with a drone, slide up to 9, 5 on the E string with a double stop, and then pinky 10th fret. So, and I would only do that if you wanted the ending. So that's kind of with some more harmony. So good, really good double stop practice there. Probably the trickiest part is like this part. But that's where letting the phrases breathe a little bit more, again, can help you set up those next phrases. The other thing, the song isn't super fast, so you can just play it slower. It sounds really nice played slow. I wanted to work up a version that sounded good on its own, where you didn't need additional accompaniment. I just think that's good practice. The mandolin doesn't do that a lot. I mean, there's not a lot of solo mandolin pieces. There's some, but not as much as like a guitar, right, or a piano or something like that, where those are more typically solo instruments. So it's really good practice to kind of fill out the sound on the mandolin. and then. All right, so that's the whole tune. Hopefully you learned something. Happy 4th of July. Hope you get to play this one and have some fun with it. All right, good luck and keep picking. You got this.